Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to an episode of my F1 2020 Manager Career Mode here with McLaren for episode number 3 today in Season 2 of the series. If you did miss the previous one, then be sure to go check that one out before you see this one. That was a bit of a half-and-half one. Carlos Sainz had another very strong race, and we still lead the championship by technicality because we're actually level on points with Lewis Hamilton there in second place. Norris had a bit of a tougher time. He had a crash, which really didn't help him out, and a drive-through basically that demoted him down the grid. He still got points in the end, but it just was a bit of a lackluster performance there. And in that episode, I said he's on a 3-strike policy right now. He's had 1 strike now. If he crashes or, has too many mistakes or whatever 2 more times, then that's going to be it. But I'm not going to fault him, if he just doesn't perform as well. Just a case of if he crashes or gets a drive-through or something like that, then that's going to be a strike. Because last episode, it still would have been an okay one for him if he had not had that drive-through. Because he still would have had the pace to maybe be around, P6... P7, maybe even P5 with the right tire strategy and aggression, maybe, but having that drive-through really demoted him down the order and didn't help things, basically. So, yeah, 2 more strikes, and then I'm going to think about replacing him. I hope it doesn't come to that for the sake of, just for him and also the McLaren. Obviously, the good feel of Sainz and Norris, but it has to come to that, because sooner rather than later, there's only so much Sainz can do to help us maintain P1 in the championship. We're only 2 points ahead of Mercedes. I don't know if this year is meant to be the championship year for us, but if it could be, then it would be great. But obviously, I don't think we're going to achieve that if Norris is doing that every single race, so we have to watch out for that. We're going to accept this interview from ESPN after needing some rather hasty repairs to Norris's, something none in the pits. It's a sign not focusing enough on car's reliability. I don't think so. I think we're just, which one, this one's going to piss off the chairman, but I'm going to say that, because that won't matter. He's 100% anyway, so that's fine. He's so happy with the job we're doing, that he's not going to go down anything. So, in terms of the pit crew, this guy's burnt out, so going to definitely have to, well, both these guys are burnt out, actually, so probably might end up firing them, to be honest. And they're not really that great on anything apart from this guy 16 on tyres, but probably just worth firing them. Fire this guy as well, and then we'll hire 2 new people. 2 guys good at fixing, may as well. I mean, we've had to do some fixing in the last 2 episodes, so may as well hire these 2 and get them on board. So we'll swap these guys out, because there's no point having these guys who are good on tyres waste their time there. And in terms of resting people, 1.6, definitely have to rest this dude. 0.2, 0%, love that for the 1.2. And then the rear jack, do we have someone to replace? Yes, we do. 0%. Awesome. 18. That's great. So we've got a 2.05 pit stops. A little bit slower than the last episode, but still pretty good. And the percentage-wise of mistakes is very, very good. So that's all decent. So in terms of the car, we are building the gearbox still, another new gearbox. And then I think I'll move on to the brakes potentially, depending on what the next iteration of the gearbox is. Because obviously the longer we go into iterations, the longer it takes to make the part, so it's sometimes a bit too much of a waiting game if we're going so deep into development early on in the season. Rather going to get a lot of rapid, smaller upgrades, maybe, if that makes sense, to maybe try and improve the car, especially because we're going to get to races where later on the engine won't be as useful to us, and so our car definitely will suffer for that. But we come through then, Lando Norris, apparently he's feeling in fine form, even though he crashed last race and had a drive-through. So that's very bonkers, but hopefully that means he's going to be decent in the race this time around, and he can improve his skills. Apparently he's going to have improvability of plus 10 potential. Look, mate, all of this, it's coming to you now at the perfect time. Pull up your socks and perform in the race, and we won't have an issue. So I'm glad I've seen that, actually. That might be just what he needs, basically. But here we go. New gearbox to be made. Let's improve parts, and let's remove this gearbox, add that one on, and add that on to reliability. I'm going to move all these off, and I'm going to move this over to about 16.9, 4 days before after the Grand Prix. Probably 1 day after will be good enough, I think, for us. And then in terms of design parts, our gearbox is still not there. It's still at 8th place, so we've still got a long way to go, apparently, on the gearbox. Brakes with P6. I'm going to do brakes, because these will get done quite quickly, won't they? 25 to max, 3 days before the race. I think that's a no-brainer. Quite a quick upgrade turnaround. Let's do that. 500,000 as well. Hardly costs anything. We'll move forward then. Brakes will be designed. We've got marketability. Excellent work. Thank you very much. Zach Brown got a 40% chance of rain in the race, so potentially that could help us out. It helped us out in Australia, but I don't know. China's always been a bit iffy one for me in general as a circuit. It's quite a difficult one to really gauge in terms of the tyre wear and whatnot. But brakes have been made. Let's build another set of brakes. I think if we can get this done maybe in time. I don't know. Plus 15 to max. I'll get done 5 days after the race. Right. Gonna pause that. Go to the calendar. Let's see what's coming up here. So we got acceleration is crucial. Then we got brakes are crucial later. And then we've got neither. Then acceleration. And then brakes again. So it's a bit of a toss-up, really. I'm going to continue to go with gearbox since we're still very low on that for some reason. So we'll go 25 plus to max. 15 to max, I think it's the best one, 999, yeah, 999, and then 40 to max there, that's 1089, that's what we've got already, yeah, and then we'll go with plus 40 here, which is 1079, so that's a big step up, or it could be a legendary. What legendary ones have we got? Plus 90, plus 65, plus 115, Jesus, I can't wait to make that, later on, right, of course, we can't actually make that because we don't have a legendary thing. So I may as well actually maybe do that one and roll the dice a little bit and basically hope we get a good part. But that'll take 20 days. That's quite a long time. I think it's worth it, though, because the gearbox is so bad. Like, 8th place is really not where we need to be as a team that's trying to fight for wins, potentially, or podiums, at least. So I think it's worth it to try and build the gearbox here. But anyway, let's move on, then. A new brake's been built, so let's remove... what's got the highest potential? Yeah, that one. So we'll add that on. And I should probably add reliability onto those brakes as well. What else needs to be made reliable? The wings, probably. Yeah, I should probably add them on. But, I mean, we don't have enough space for both wings. And also, I still want to push on with improvements to everything as well. So, I'm going to go tentatively with 26.9 there. That's quite a slow reliability improvement. But, I don't... I need these parts to be better. Like, it's all good and well making them, but they need to reach their full max potential to really see any dividends there. So, I don't know. I might actually remove all these wings. I might... have the brakes been much of an issue? A little bit, maybe. So, let's go with 26. I'll just stick with this. Let's see how it goes for 2 days. I don't know. It's going to be much of an improvement there as we move through to Beijing then. Let's see. How much did that improve by? 68, 66, 68. A little bit of improvement there. Over the weekend, I'll do 34.1 over that weekend. Right, let's move forward then. In terms of part fitting, right. Tyre-wise, medium tyre wear. Like I said, I don't always know... I'm pretty sure this is one of the races where ultras go the same as soft, so I'm not going to take in any. So I've taken maybe 2. That's about it. And then I'll take in 5 hards. Part fitting wise, right, here we go. Have we got any new parts to give? Right, we can give new brakes. I'll give those to Sainz, and then Norris can stick with... He actually had better brakes before, so we'll stick with those ones. With the gearbox, I will move Sainz... I'll move Norris onto that one, so that's an improvement. Less reliability, but more improvement on the performance. And then the suspension, I'll leave it at that, yeah. I'll leave it at that. Obviously, I trust Sainz more to do a better job with a better car. So we'll move forward then. Right, practice is apparently clear. Everything clear, apparently, even though we've got a 40% chance of rain, so we'll see about that. But let's move through into practice then. Hopefully, Norris's form can at least see him, you know, come at least P5 or something like that. Right, taking practice. Lando has a very different kind of setup window to Sainz here, so it's going to be interesting to see which one does better in terms of the downforce. Norris thinks it's going to be a very high window on high downforce, whereas Sainz a little bit more open, but let's see. But as we come through, that for some reason, I don't know what the lighting here at China makes this McLaren look even sweeter. I mean, look at that. That's a real gorgeous colour. Right, anyway, I digress. We move through then. Going to go on hard tyres, of course. If it does rain, might be another case of Australia where softer tyres are useful. But I don't know, just because it said dry the entire weekend, I have a feeling that just we won't get that rain, even though it's 40%, which is pretty high. I just don't think we'll get it. We'll maybe get it in quali and not the race. So, going to go for the hard tyres. China's a very difficult circuit for tyre wear. The ultras don't go particularly long. They go like 15 laps, but that wears out quite quickly. And the hard tyres, I don't know, they're just not very quick tyres, and the AI definitely go a bit more aggressive, which does allow us to maybe do something clever, because sometimes in the past, I have been able to do one less stop than some people in China and do well, but we'll have to see about that. But that's kind of play we have to try and do this season, I think, because we've got a car that's on the cusp, maybe, of, depending on the conditions and the track type, is maybe a race-winning car, but I think we're going to have to try some very clever strategies to make sure we actually book in some victories or just strong podiums like we had last episode. But we need to hopefully try and stop Hamilton, because if he keeps getting first place, obviously we won the first race, he won the second race. If he won this again, then he's just going to try and build that momentum, and then he's going to just pull away like he did last season. Right, end of their stints, they've got level 2. Just going to check their setups quickly here. Okay, 1 excellent, 2 okay, so that's not, well, it's pretty bad. 2 excellents are good, that's decent for Sainz. Okay, I'm surprised that he's actually gone better, because in general, Norris has had the better feedback in practice, actually. Handling wise then, don't know where to go with this. It could go either way, because we're slap bang in the middle already, so I'm going to go towards under still. Let's see how that goes with that big change, and then try and move this back to where we were. Right, let's see how that is. I will go, we've got 15 minutes left. I think I'll swap this over to quali trim, and then we'll get back to the race trim, hopefully at the end. With Norris, I think go towards understeer for sure with him, because he's on OK only. And then speed balance, I think towards acceleration, because that's where Sainz was, I think. Or was he at top end speed? I think we had him. He might have been a little bit more towards top end speed, because we've got such high downforce. I feel like acceleration would be the way to go with him. So let's try that. It might be completely wrong, but let's see. Right, last 30 seconds of the session. Sainz going to come in. I'll send him quickly out for a race trim, but we're not going to get it done. We've got level 3 on Ultras and Quali. And yeah, he's just not come out. So we've only got level 2 on race trim and hard tyres. Bit of a blunder for me in terms of quali versus race trim. But I don't know. I wanted to get the ultras done, because there just might be a chance of rain. There might be. Setup-wise, we're looking good. 2 excellents and a great for Sainz. 1 excellent, 2 greats for Norris. But a little bit tricky there with quite a long lap, 130, Every time it's a 130 range, it's always difficult to get all 3 levels with these 2 drivers, because they're not obviously top level drivers where the feedback is just coming so quickly when they're both out there. But we'll make the most of it. P5, P6. Don't know if that's true pace. We'll see. Let's see how qualifying goes in Q1. Right, Q1, I'm going to use Serv Ultras, or softs. Should we use softs? May as well use softs. I'm not going to use softs in the race, am I? So I may as well use softs actually this time round. And this is very interesting. Norris has got this set up, and yet we're actually outside his operating window for mechanics recommendation, which is quite funny. But anyway, it's going to work out. So there we go. Off you pop on the soft tyres. Should get through. Hopefully the car, I assume the car has pace to get through. I'll be very surprised if we don't. And then that just saves us a load of Ultras for Q2, Q3, and potentially the race maybe, if it's an aggressive one. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like wanting to do a very aggressive strategy here at China. Like, do what the AI did last season, I think, or in previous career modes with the Ferrari career, where they do an extra stop. I feel like doing that, because it worked really well for Sainz last episode. Like, he was able to overtake 3 cars at the end there, albeit there was, I think, some sort of kerfuffle at the end of the race at Dubai, but it was nice. It was a nice feeling pushing Sainz that hard at the end, just flat out and just overtaking cars. So, might try it, we'll see. Right, Q2. Now we really see what the pace will truly be like on a set of Ultra Task Mode drivers. Let's send them out both at the same time. Is there any rain coming? Doesn't look like it. Track grip's going up as usual. Yeah, I don't think the rain's coming, is it? But let's see then how this lap goes. Got perfectly good there, so Norris had a better outlap than Sainz there, and he's got a bit of slipstream from him potentially. Let's see how this goes. 2 greens. Purple there for Sainz, but then that gets knocked down by Vettel, so Vettel's looking pretty quick with 2 purples there. Let's see what the lap time's like, though. Across the line, 1:29.4. Norris beats Sainz there by a little bit. That's good news for us. Good to see that, but Vettel comes through with a stonking lap time. Jesus. 8/10 ahead of us. That's a little bit worrying in terms of the pace difference there, so don't know. What's Hamilton saying there? Verstappen's there. Ocon even's looking good. Wow, okay. No, I think we've underperformed there massively. For some reason. P9 and 10. What on earth's going on there, lads? We massively underperformed there. Gasly and Chilton looking mega. The 2 Red Bulls were looking really mega. Gasly's got a 5/10 gap to Chilton, and he's got a 1/10 gap to Vettel. That's pretty big. But yeah, I don't know what on earth's going on there. That can't be our pace. If that is, we've got issues. Right. Q3, top 12 shootout, let's go. This has to be much better than what we did, because we're about, 1.5 off the pace. That was, well, obviously, I'm not expecting us to be right up there with Red Bull there, but just, at least maybe the third row at least, and not behind the Renaults, which I think we should be comfortably beating. So let's see. Hopefully that was just a bit of a fluke. Maybe some traffic involved. There's going to be some more traffic involved as the Ferrari catches and overtakes us on the outlap there, which is a little bit annoying, but I don't know, maybe Sainz can get a tow from Vettel, I'm not too sure. Maybe Norris a tow off Sainz. It is a slightly better outlap there, at least we've got one perfect for both drivers. Let's see then, first run, please lads, be better than that Q2 showing. Here we go, we are put 2 purples for Sainz. He's beaten Vettel. He's beating Vettel right now. Vettel's gone slower than Sainz here. Here we go, across the line, and it's oh, the last sector though let us down. 2 purples and then 1 green for Sainz. Let us down massively there in the last sector. What on earth was that? But we're 4 tenths off Vettel. That's a little bit better. Actually, a lot better. But Norris, 9 tenths off. He needs to improve it a little bit there. Verstappen comes through. Let's see what Gasly's saying. Gasly with a big lap time there. Hamilton, we're close to him, though, with Sainz. That's pretty good news, at least. Interesting, though. That's a little bit annoying, though. Look at where I was getting my hopes up for 2 purples there, and the last sector just all fell away. Right, we'll wait to the right at the end. I mean, track grip's perfect right now, so actually we'll just wait for some clean air, which is about now. And let's go out now with Sainz and send Norris out as well at the same time. Both have some clean air to work with. And let's hope it can be a big improvement for both. Let's see. Come on. If Sainz can just about pip Hamilton for P4, that'd be excellent. 2 perfects. Great outlap there. Decent outlap for Norris as well. Let's see. Come on, boys. Please. Big improvements for both of you. First sector, what are we saying? Come on. White sector for both. That is not what we need. Second sector, please. Come on. We need something. Green second sector. That's better. White for Norris. Well, Norris is really not improving. Let's see. Last sector. Green. And oh, yes. What an improvement there for Carlos Sainz. Massive jump there. That was a very sneaky improvement there at the end. And we get on the front row alongside Pierre Gasly. Obviously, people yet to set lap times. Verstappen's coming through with the purple in the middle sector. Ricciardo as well, so it's not over yet. Let's see what Verstappen does across the line. And Verstappen nabs pole by a massive 5 tenths in the Ferrari there. That's shocking. That's a lap time out of nowhere. And Ricciardo comes through as well. Hamilton might do it as well. And so we move down to P4, so it's all kicking off. And unfortunately, we're going down the order even more. Hamilton comes across. He does not. The championship leader is P7. Well, we're the championship leader. Our championship rival is down in P7. And Sainz is P4. So that's a good opportunity to be ahead of him at the race start and, try and build a gap to him. Norris is right alongside Hamilton. So, actually, I'm not too upset about that. Maybe he can try and get Hamilton to start as well and try and do something in the race. His form will be 10 in the race. So, hopefully that will come and pay dividends. But Verstappen gets pole. I'll take that, I think, because obviously we've got to pick our battles. We're battling Hamilton at this point in time in the championship. Ricciardo and Gasly haven't really been right up there, so I think we can afford to maybe be behind them. But let's see. I mean, obviously with a good start, anything's possible. We had a great start last episode with Sainz, so never say never. Right, so here we are then for the race. No rain apparently coming, but those tyre temperatures do look quite low, and they're getting lower as we go on through the race. Maybe there might be slight chance, maybe some rain right at the end, but before we get to that, it's just going to be a normal race. So in terms of knowledge, race trim obviously, hard tyres or ultra softs. Now I said I wanted to go more aggressive. I think we should commit to it earlier rather than later, so I'm going to go for it. Level 3 on ultras. We'll go for it. These tyres will only go for 11 laps, then 15. We're looking at a 2-stop until the last stint, and then it's probably a 3 to hard tyres. But I want to go aggressive. It may not work, but going to throw the dice, see how it works out. Attack mode at the start, obviously, if we want to try and get a jump with Sainz up into the top 3 maybe, and hopefully Norris can try and jump at least Hamilton and try and keep him at bay somewhat, almost like Sainz did against Vettel at Dubai. Basically, if we can try and hold him up and basically annoy the hell out of him, that would be really great. Alright, so here we go then to 5 red lights to the Chinese Grand Prix from P4 and P8 on the grid. 4 lights are out and we're on the way. And it's, a bit of a yo-yo start there for Sainz. He initially went down the order, but now into turn 1, 3 wide with Verstappen and Ricciardo. And Carlos Sainz is up into the lead at the Chinese Grand Prix, but close behind will be Verstappen. I'm sure he'll chase us down. Norris has made a banging start as well. P6, he's overtaken Hamilton, so that's exactly what we wanted. But Hamilton will come back at him, so can he try and keep the Brit at bay? Meanwhile, Sainz is, holding up Verstappen. There's no other way to really explain that corner, basically. But the two former Toro Rosso teammates then, 1-2 at the moment there. Verstappen will be quick in this race, though, so I'm sure he'll come knocking very much on the next lap, pretty much. So we continue on, try and push on. But eventually, it's a driver mistake by Norris. A lock-up from him. That's a bit of tyre wear loss, potentially, but he maintains the place to Hamilton there. So that's not a strike, don't worry. That's not a major mistake that loses in places there, but it's unfortunate to see that, again, he's prone to making that mistake again. We'll go down to pushing. We'll maintain overtake mode on the engine for now, and I think on the end of lap 2 we'll go down to high. But on the tyres, definitely want to try and cool them down a little bit. Right, now let's go high, and go high there for Norris, and then also neutral actually, because the tyre temps are creeping up quite a fair bit. I think everyone's going to neutral. Yeah, everyone's neutral now. There's a mistake by Chilton there behind Hamilton. So for now, Norris, that's going to be it. Slam dunk. Literally, as soon as we go into neutral, he gets overtaken by Hamilton. That's unfortunate. He's down to P7, but, you know, he did a pretty good job at least of 3 laps of holding Hamilton up. But look at Hamilton. Actually, Hamilton's just an absolute animal. He's just overtaken Norris and Vettel in one foul swoop there very easily. Norris is now behind Chilton as well, so as soon as we go to neutral, Norris is not finding it a great time. Let's go back to pushing, try and get some performance back there. Meanwhile, Sainz, though, doing a fantastic job. Look at that, 3.5 there, out in the lead, you know. This game, once you get in the lead in this game, it's a lot easier to control the race, because every driver seems to just do better once they're in the lead. Kind of makes sense, but like in real life as well, you can control the race, but it's kind of uncanny how many times, you know, as soon as we get in the lead, we can try and control it. As soon as Hamilton gets in the lead, it's a no-go. We can't win the race, basically, anymore, unless he makes an extra pit stop. Meanwhile, Norris is keeping on the back of Chilton just about, but I think pretty much that's him in no man's land around P8 or P7, I don't know. We'll have to monitor the situation. Meanwhile, with Sainz, we're now 4 seconds there. They're going to take this time to now go into lower fuel mixtures and try and save some fuel. Same with Norris as well. Try and save that fuel a little bit, and let's see how long we can just basically stretch this stint. And Markelov has crashed in the Alpine racing car. Yellow flags, no safety car though. Out Max Chilton has crashed ahead of us. That's one free position then for Lando Norris. Thank you very much, Max Chilton in the Red Bull. So we're up into P7 then with Norris. Hamilton's been re-overtaken by Vettel. So that's good news for us that Hamilton is not absolutely surging through the field. Good news. Good lap for us. Good lap 5 was a good lap. Right. Meanwhile, Sainz still 4.3 ahead. Saving fuel as well. So that's good. Norris saving fuel and somewhat keeping up with the pack a little bit. I mean, the gap's not massive, but we are falling back a little bit to Ocon as well. I might need to go earlier on the pit stop with Norris here, because the tyre wear, he definitely has more tyre wear than Sainz for sure, because there's a 10% difference there. I might go on this next lap, you know. I might go now. Overtake mode. Let's go. Because Ocon's going to come in the pit lane, isn't he? Yeah, he's coming. So let's push in. Wear out these tyres, 6/10 gain there, good stuff. Right, through the last chicane, right, let's pit now, I'd say. Right, so those went 8. That was nothing, basically. But I still kind of, you know, want to do an aggressive strategy. So let's go for another set of ultras. Fast pit stop, let's do it. In. And then with Sainz, let's go high fuel mode, you can afford to. And your tyre temp is actually a little bit low there, mate, so you can go pushing as well. Right, tyre wear is kicking in for Sainz now, so going to push in on this lap. We've matched Verstappen for tyre wear, which is very good. He's going to come in on this lap as well. So that's decent. What's everyone gone for? Most people have gone for hard tyres, so we're definitely doing something a little bit different here, which I like, with Norris at least. Do I cover off Verstappen? He'll probably go hard as well. Do I stick to this? Gasly's gone on ultras, so... no, let's go ultras. Let's stick with this. Okay? Fast pit stop, let's go. Come in. Also, Sainz done a pretty decent job. 9 laps to go. Right, low fuel, in. Right, Norris, what are we saying? Medium, let's go pushing. Oh, Gasly's got a mechanical failure. He's down to P14. Red Bull, massive issue. He's had some sort of crash. We've had a mistake of 3 seconds. On the pit stop there with Sainz, which has completely eroded a lot of our lead there, unfortunately. But Norris has gained and overtaken Gasly. He's got a puncher of some sort because he's got 0 tyre wear there. So that's another free position for Lando Norris potentially in this race. That's looking better. That's looking better. Raikkonen has crashed. Alfa Romeo's out. That's, well, he's already down the order, so that's not a free position for Norris. Norris is in P7. De Resta's not in the race. Stroll's not in our race, so we'll be up to P5, that would be. And at the moment, we are ahead of Hamilton. I don't know how that's actually happened. Hamilton has had some sort of mare, or he's a mechanical failure, maybe, or mechanical issue that slowed him down. So we've jumped him somewhere. I don't know what. He looks like he has quite fresh tyres, so he actually might have made a pit stop, you know. So he already might have made a second pit stop for some reason. He actually, you know what, he might have crashed with Gasly. Maybe that's why. Gasly had a puncher, maybe he had a puncher as well. I'm not too sure. Can I look at the data center and just see what happened to Hamilton? Where is he? Pit stop. Yeah, he made an early pit stop. Didn't he go on to, he went on to hard tires, I'm pretty sure, did he not? So I'm pretty sure he had some sort of kerfuffle with Gasly. That's what happened there. As we move on to lap 16, all is well right now. Norris is now up into P5. As I said, De Resta and Lance Stroll out of the picture. And the pace is pretty good for Norris. He's actually catching a little bit to Verstappen potentially, to Vettel potentially. And we're building a massive gap with Sainz here. Obviously, we're going to have to make one extra pit stop, I believe, compared to Verstappen here. So we need this gap of 16 seconds. But this gap is exactly what we need. This, I don't know what the total pit stop time is, but I think it's going to be, you know, we need about 20 seconds here. So we're doing good work here to do this. Tyre wear is looking okay. We're managing it, you know, going up and down on the temperature scale for both drivers. But for now, it's looking decent for both drivers, even Norris as well. I'm actually very happy with him right now in P5. Right, I'm pushing Norris very hard right now. 7/10 gained here. I'm going to pit in on this in-lap here. Another set of ultras potentially for Norris. Let's see. Right, if we go, how long did we go on these tyres for? We pit on lap 6, did we not? I think on the first stint. So we've gone a lot longer. We've gone 9 laps there, proper, on these. So we went another 9. That would leave us with how many laps left? 14 laps. That's an easy, well, that's an easy potential. Another set of ultras. We went easy enough on them, or another set of softs or hards. Yeah, I'm just, to be honest, I'm just winging this strategy right now at the moment. I'm feeling good just giving them ultras and just going fast. So let's just keep on going, basically. Just see how it goes, see how it ends up at the end of the race, basically. Right, Sainz with you, mate. Just carry on as you are. You're doing a great job. Extend that stint as long as you can, mate. Newgarden's crashed, P17. So that's another... Still no safety car, though. But he wasn't really in our race, of course. We're out in P7 now with Norris. That's good. We'll go medium here on the fuel. Go attacking on the outlap. Try and get this this Racing Point car maybe sooner rather than later. Maybe overtake mode high. Right, worn tyres for Carlos Sainz. Keep on going, mate. We're going to conserve. Keep on going. Keep on going. Stretch this stick. Right, Sainz will come in. Let's hopefully not have a mistake on the pit stop, please. We come in with a fast pit stop arranged for him. Good stuff there. No mistake. Love that. Out, and we're still P1. Looking good. Let's save some fuel. Verstappen's right there, but we've made that extra pit stop already. We're ahead of him still. So that's absolutely exactly what we needed. So now we push away, try and build another gap, and then we're super comfortable for this race lead. Down to neutral there. Let's go medium. Let's save some fuel here. We've done some good work with Norris to cool off those tyres. I pushed them a little bit too much. Now let's try and catch back up to Stroll if we can, please. Right, lap 32, we're going to pit in with Norris. We've really worn out his tyres 10%, try to stretch them a little bit longer, just give him a bit of an oomph on the last stint. With Sainz, I conserve the tyres so much the tyre temps have gone quite cold, so I'm now trying to get some energy back into them, basically, whilst the tyres also wear out a little bit, and then try and get him in for the pit stop, obviously. Norris is in. No mistake, please. Good stuff. Right, we're out in P6. We should get Stroll, I would say. We're just ahead of Hamilton there, so that's also good. We're maintaining that gap ahead of Hamilton. We should be able to catch Stroll. Ricardo, I think, actually, you know what? These two might pit, so we could be up into P4, you know, if we're lucky. Let's see. We've not got too much fuel to burn, though, so I need to keep an eye on that, but let's try and keep Hamilton at bay here. But looks like Hamilton is racing... Hamilton. Norris is racing Hamilton to the end here, so... We've got the tyre advantage there, so here's hoping. Meanwhile, with Sainz, his tyres are now wearing at 18.8, though. I think that's enough just to make this pit stop and still be ahead of Verstappen, even if he wasn't to make a pit stop. But he clearly is, because those tyres are wearing out. Or Vettel, rather. And we've got a 21-second gap to Verstappen, so that's equally even better. So let's go low fuel here. We're in. It's a good in-lap there. 5/10 gain on the in-lap despite the worn tyres. We've got an issue with Norris's rear wing, because that's now red. Hamilton has overtaken us. Ricciardo's pit and he's actually got ahead of us there. We've jumped Stroll, though, so we're down to P6 now. So that P4 has now turned into a P6, unfortunately, and we need to try and push hard. We want to try and catch Hamilton with a broken rear wing to get P5. Meanwhile, with Sainz, though, I think we're still good as we come out then. Rear wing, just keep on going, mate. Come on, there's not too many laps left. Just keep going. We do get ahead of Verstappen there, and he's on worn hard. So surely we've got this in the bag. Just need to make sure we save this fuel. And see this through to the end. Hopefully our car doesn't break. I mean, our rear wing's a little bit iffy there with Sainz as well, so let's watch out for that. But if I just watch these tyre temperatures enough, I think we should be in good stead by the end of the race. Just push and overtake Hamilton, ultras v softs, hopefully. I need to save fuel, though, unfortunately. We need to go low. So that's the only thing here. We're slowing down so much with low fuel that Fittipaldi's catching up to us. Can we just not lose too much time to Hamilton? That's about 5 seconds we've lost to him. 5 laps remaining. Is it enough? Is it enough? Don't know. Right, 4 laps to go. Rear wing is now 15%. We've now got some fuel to play around with. And we're just going to full out attack now for the rest of this entire stint with Norris here. And if his rear wing falls off, it falls off. Maybe even the front wing as well. But let's push on. We're gaining the gap back to about 4 seconds there to Hamilton. Keep on pushing. Meanwhile, Sainz maintains a 12-second gap because Verstappen in the end has pit as well for that extra pit stop. So in the end, I've actually done the same amount of stops as Verstappen and we avoided the hard tyre. So that's excellent there. So we can see this through to the end. But what are we saying here? 2 laps to go. Norris gaining, but not enough, I don't think. Let's go overtake mode now. This last lap, come on, go. Push. High. Final lap. Overtake mode through the last sector. Come on, high. We're closing. We're closing 2 seconds to Hamilton. We have closed quite a fair bit here. But it's not going to be enough, though. We don't have enough fuel to burn this through to the end here. As we come through worn tyres for Norris. And we overtake the Alpha, but Hamilton will finish 3 seconds ahead of us, but look at that. Carlos Sainz, we even missed it there. Carlos Sainz is a 2-time race winner this season. Fabulous strategy there, overly aggressive, and that's worked out for us. Sainz he's an aggressive driver. He has great starts. He responds to pushing. It seems like that this is the new meta. This is the new meta. He's pushing hard with Sainz. It works out for him. Norris kind of worked out for us. I'm still very happy with P6, actually, to be honest. We did our best to try and close up to Hamilton. We were quite close. Maybe with, I don't know, a little bit more luck, we could have maybe got him there. But I think we've done overall a decent job there. I'm happy with Norris' performance. I see in the end, Vettel gets fast up the Grand Prix. Verstappen obviously got the points for pole position, so we get 25 still, though. Hamilton did have a drive-through there, so he definitely got help. I think he got messed up with Gasly. That's why he was down the order. So that helped us out massively there. Him only 10 points. Norris with 8. First place trophy, but crucially in the championship, 15 points ahead with Sainz, but constructors, more importantly, 10 ahead of Ferrari now, who have come back into the fray. So last season, obviously, it was between Ferrari and Mercedes for the championship, and it will be useful, I think, for us to have these two battle out again, because the more points they take off each other, the better for us overall, if we can just keep on trying to crop in there consistently. Well, at least that's the hope. But looking good. 3 rounds gone. Very tentatively happy with how the season's gone so far, but that's because all the races we've had so far have had either useful or crucial on the engine side of things. Once we get to a race where the engine is not even a factor on the calendar, on that race, in the kind of 3-pronged perk, then we're going to have major issues, and that will be the kind of big test, the damage limitation races for us, really, because obviously we know our engine's fantastic, our engine's good enough to bring us to the forefront, but it's the rest of the car that I'm worried about. But for now, I think Portugal's still another track that has useful on the engine side, so for now, next episode will still be pretty looking pretty good, I think, but I think episode 5 then of this season will be where we hit some issues, potentially, but till then, it's all looking good. So guys, if you did enjoy the episode, then be sure to hit that like button, let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you are new around here to subscribe for weekly Formula content, I've been aarava, have a good day, I'll see you guys next time, goodbye.